好咁啊，大家 Good morning everyone. Okay. And 有冇邊個同學睇唔到嘅 ？Anyone? You can't see my face. You not able to read the screen. 好，仲有1分鐘嚇，咁啊準時開始。好咁我哋開始啦。各位早晨用中文講嘅早晨先。Good morning, student, right? And welcome to this trial class about the QA1, all right? And right now, this trial class is only for you to give some experience on what is the environment on teaching in CC, right? But sure now is the situation is quite desirable, right? So I think that the college will still arrange first 3 weeks, at least, I think 3 weeks, to use the online teaching and to conduct the course, right? But if the situation become better, I think that at the end of September, the college may be reorganized the class, such as that is we have a part which is still is using online. That is you watch a film, okay, about the lecture, and also we will also arrange a face-to-face tutorial that will be conducted in the college. I think that this is better, okay, it's a better, right? And but don't worry that all the lesson I will record it, and then I will try to put it in the cloud, and then you may use it through the Zoom, and you watch a cloud record, right? 咁我會錄影啊，咁跟住擺翻上個 cloud 嗰度嚇。OK， 咁我哋就開始啦。Today I will spend around 1 hour on teaching, trial teaching, right? Now my name is Thomas, right? Okay, this is my name, and Chen. I'm the course coordinator of this QA1, and this semester there will be 4 to 5 teachers on teaching in QA1, right? And also please, this is my email. Okay, this is my email, and but I will also put this information through the Soul platform. Okay, in our college, there is a platform called Soul platform, SOUL. Okay, which is a information system platform to communicate between the student and the teacher. 得唔得？或者我會放上 Soul 嚇呢啲嘢嚇。Okay, now Now, maybe I use 5 minutes, around 5 minutes to introduce what is the QA1. QA1 is called CCMA 4001. Actually, this is an introduction of a statistic knowledge. I think most of you come from study science, right? Correct? And then all this knowledge will be used in your academic study, and also is very useful in your future, in your further education in the future. And I think that most of the students, after you finish the associate degree, you will continue your study in to study degree. Okay, our admission rate is quite good. 即係我哋嘅收生率幾好嘅，升大學嚇。Okay, do you know the percentage? Do you know the percentage? I think it's around 70. Okay, 70% of the student can go back to study the degree. So, but sure, not everyone can directly admitted to year 3. Some of them go to year 2, right? It depends on your GPA. Okay, GPA. And this course is teach you all the necessary basic skill about statistics. Okay, such as sampling technique, such as statistical measures. I think you know it. That is a mean, mode, median, something like that. And then classical probability distribution, right? That is something called normal distribution. I think most of you heard them. Poisson distribution, geometric distribution, something like that. And based on them, I will also introduce that how do we use the statistic to do estimation and then do the testing. Testing 咧，中文叫做檢定。中文叫假設檢定嚇。Okay, because you have the proposition, right? You have some assumption. Okay, then you do some data collection and use the data to verify whether your assumption is correct or not. Right. Now this is the syllabus of QA1. Okay, chapter 1 is the easiest. Okay, it's a sampling or summarizing data. That's a mean, mode, median, something like that. So remember to bring your calculator in your lesson, right? If you study DSE in Hong Kong, right, just use your calculator. You use it in your form, from Form 4 to Form 6. Okay, and chapter 2 is about probability. Okay, the probability symbol. Okay. Something like that, right? I think that some of you maybe heard them before, right? And such as something like a tree diagram, Bayes theorem, tree diagram, something like that. Okay, I think maybe some of you saw this before because these are also the syllabus of DSE, right? And part 3 is a probability distribution. I will introduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the most common distribution in statistics. Okay. And next is the sampling distribution. That is, if you take sample from the population 啫 population。咁中文咧就叫群體啊，係咪群體啊 ？OK。群體，即係成扎人裏邊，你攞啲 data 出嚟做 estimation, right? And how do we use based on the sample to do some calculation, all right? To do some estimation, right? All right. And then next, point and interval estimation. That is based on the data you take in this step 4. You use the data to do some estimation to calculate the interval. Okay, calculate the interval. For example, you find that, okay, the average GPA in our college is, say, 3.01. Okay, this is average. And you want to find the interval, say, 95% of our students should be between 2 numbers. Okay, this is the interval. 呢個咧叫做區間估計，區間估計。有冇同學唔識睇中文字嘅 ？Raise your hand. You can't read Chinese character. Okay. And then next is the hypothesis testing. 假設檢定。 And then finally, I will also teach you how to reuse the Excel, okay, to do some statistic analysis. Because today, our teaching, we use the pencil and paper, right? But actually, most of today, we quite frequent to use the computer to do the estimation. So this is roughly the syllabus of the QA1, okay, QA1. Any problem? And basically, we have 3 to 4, not more than 4, okay, assignments, okay, assignments. And we will also have a end of term assessment work. Whether we have face-to-face examination quite depends on your situation, right? We are not determined, right? Whether we have face-to-face examination or using an online examination. Okay, if I use an online examination, I will call it is only an end of term assessment, all right? 咁啊睇下情況而定，而家我哋都未決定嘅呢啲嘢。All right, student, any problem on the syllabus? Anyone you are very afraid of statistic? 有冇同學好怕 statistic 啊？冇，冇。Okay, well, the passing rate of this course is quite good in the past, 90%. Okay, 90% of the students get passed. Okay, so it's quite difficult to get a fail. So for sure, if you want to get a distinction, you should work hard. All right. But first of all, I give you some idea because this is the first time you study in tertiary education. We use GPA to measure your achievement. Okay. Now usually, if your academic result you get straight B, okay, 即係全部都係 B, then your GPA is 3.0. Okay, GPA is 3.0. But you really want to, in future, admitted to the local university, my suggestion is you try to get GPA 3.5, a more secure marks, okay, in order to successfully go back to the local university 嚇得唔得？即係3.5係我俾大家嘅目標啦嚇，3.0就全部都係 B 啦嚇。Okay, right. And if no problem, we start today's lesson. Anyone heard counting before? 你可以試下打個 message， 有冇同我聽過呢啲嘢㗎 ？Counting. Yes, okay. Yes, you heard counting before. Yeah, counting before, right? Okay. And I choose this subject because I don't want to teach minimal median in the trial lesson. It's so simple. So I choose a bit difficult chapter, okay, on demonstrate the lesson. But in QA1 you will learn some counting technique that maybe probably you did not heard them before in your secondary school. Okay, I hope you all enjoy. Okay, I will use about 1 hour to complete it. Now, counting, basically, if the number of objects is not many, just 5 objects, you use your finger, then you can solve the problem, right? But if there are many objects, many steps, we try to formulate some methods in order to quickly solve the problem. So this is the origin of counting, right? Now, do you learn the first rule in counting? That is the fundamental principle of multiplication. 呢個叫基礎乘法法則，好重要嘅。What it is? If there is an experiment, and you can divide the experiment into several steps. If step 1, there are M1 way to do it. Step 2, M2, M3, M4. Then totally, there are M1 times M2 times M3 times M4 way to do it. This is the multiplication rule, all right? Anyone, can you tell me, you may type it, why we use multiplication? Why we don't use addition？ 點解我哋唔係用加法嘅？點解用乘法嘅？有冇同學知？我俾15秒你諗。It's the same case， 可以咁講嘅嚇。Same because this is in an experiment can be done at the same time, right? Now, you are both you are correct, right? But actually, is if you use a more elementary, easier method way to understand it is, we go back to your form 3. Your math teacher teach you about what is a tree diagram, right? Suppose you toss a coin. There are head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail, head, tail. Now, then totally there are 8 ways to do it. Okay, 8 ways to do it. Why 8? The first one is 2. The second one, there are also 2. The third is also 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. All right. So the multiplication rule actually is come from the tree diagram. All right. So remember this is if you do a single task, there are many ways to do it. There are several steps. So we use the multiplication to do it. Now let's see one simple question. Find the number of ways to answer true and false quiz with 4 questions. If every question must be answered, so must be answered. So 2, true and false. So 2 power 6 or 2 power 4 you may write. 2 power 4, very easy. If we allow the possibility to unanswer the question, so there are 3 options in each question. So the answer is 3 to the power 4. Okay, 3 to the power 4. All right, very simple. So can you tell me what is the answer of this? I give you how many? 2 minutes to do it. You may type your answer in the chat room. How many ways can this word be arranged? A, B, C. How about B? A is a no restriction. B is a C start first. And C is a C is the first. And R be the last. I know that maybe a number of you learn a bit before because you know how to use the exclamation mark, factorial. Okay. First one, 7 times 6 times 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A number of textbooks use a method called empty box method. They are 7 ways. So the first one, they are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next page, you will learn this symbol called factorial. Okay. How about next one? If we must put C be the first, so there's only one way in the first letter. And for the other, no restriction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or you may write 1 times 6 factorial. Do you know the answer of 6 factorial? 有冇同學知6嘅階乘係幾多？撳機。Okay, 7 to 0. If C be the first and R be the last, so in between there are 5 letters. So 5 factorial. So answer is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 5 factorial is, let's see, 120. Next one, do you know the answer? In a certain time, each registered number consists of 2 letters. Repetition is allowed, followed by a number between 1 and 99 inclusive. The letters are limited to those from A to H, capital letter. How many registered numbers are possible? 有幾多個 number 可以整到 ？1 minute. Be careful. Read the question is repetition is allowed. Okay, repetition is allowed. 可以重複使用嚇，可以重複使用。Okay, so answer is A to H. There are 8 ways times 8 times this one. All right, times this one. All right, so be careful. Repetition is allowed. It's simple question, right? No problem. Then we go to next page. Now, counting after we learn the multiplication rule, we start to learn the permutation. 中文叫排列，嗱係學咗排列先學組合嘅嚇。Okay, permutation. So first of all, I introduce the symbol of factorial. Okay, factorial. The product of first n consecutive integer is denoted by n factorial. Is written as n factorial. Its definition is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 up to 1. Okay, up to 1 only, don't put 0. Okay, so 4 factorial is 24. 8 factorial is this number. Okay, and 0 factorial is 1. I give you one question. You go home, think why 0 factorial is 1. OK， 得唔得？你自己返屋企諗下，零嘅階乘點解係1？幾有趣㗎嚇！呢度唔開估住嚇，得唔得 ？OK， so but remember this, just remember it. It's a 0 factorial is 1. Okay, it's 1. And why we introduce factorial notation? Because in counting, we quite often to do some consecutive multiplication. Okay, repetition is not allowed, so it's more convenient for us to use this factorial symbol rather than write a long list to represent the answer. So easy question is 8 people be seated in a row in 8 chair, 8 factorial, this number. How about this? Very easy. Okay. 6 factorial or 6p6. How about this? How many ways to arrange this word banana? I give you 1 minute. How about this? Now, why I use these two examples is so this is easy. I think all of you can give me the correct answer, 6 factorial, right? But when you use this 6 factorial, you make one assumption. What is the assumption? That is the object, they are all distinct, okay? All distinct, all are different, okay? Then you may use the factorial directly. But if some objects which are repeated, like this one, actually this is only one way to arrange 6A, right? You can't just use the factorial to do it. You have to consider, okay? Consider the repetition. So how do we solve the problem? Now for this word banana, for example, I put a subscript on the 2n. I call it n1, n2. Now if this word, I exchange the n1, n2, these two words, they are identical, okay? Identical, no difference, because the 2n actually they are the same. So therefore, there is two objects. There is a 2 factorial repetition, okay? Or in mathematics, we call it factor. 其實一個因子嚟嘅，呢個係 TOR, okay? It's a factor. So we have to remove the factor because although you exchange them, you do not give me a new answer. So if all the letters are different, the answer is 6 factorial. But if the 2n, they are repeated, we have to remove it. On removing a factor, you may use subtraction, or you may use division. Which one is correct? 用除法掟走個 factor， 定係用減法咧？用除法定係用減法咧？兩個都減嘢㗎嘛？又點解咧？嚇？ We should use division because the first rule in counting is multiplication. If you go backward, you should use the division to do this. So this answer is you divide the 2n by 2 factorial. Okay. We also have 3a, 3 factorial. This is for n, this is for a. All right. So this is the correct answer. All right. But if you just study in Hong Kong, you study DSE, you will not have you don't need to solve this type of question because it's out of the syllabus. If you remember, the examination question is all of the objects we assume they are distinct. How do we assume they are distinct? Many questions are decided by using people, student, teacher, so and so to decide. So people are distinct, so they are not repeated. So be careful if there are some repeated object, you have to do some division to remove it. Okay, next one. What is the answer of this? 2. Now you see that different, and A. Biology books are arranged on a shelf. How many arrangements are there? 呢條好易嘅啫，係咪？ How many different arrangements are possible if the biology book is put in the first? How many different arrangements are possible if only 3 books are put on the shelf? A physics, a chemistry, and a biology in that order. 俾2分鐘大家試下做啊！ First one, easy. 7 factor. Different. Next one, a particular object is fixed. 6 factor. Okay, 6 factor. How about the last one? Now, a possible if only 3 books. We only choose 3. A physics book, a chemistry book, and a biology book. So we go back to use the multiplication rule. There are 2 ways on choosing the physics, 4 on choosing the chemistry, and 1 on choosing the biology. So it is 8. Okay? Understand? 得唔得？ Pay attention on the different. Okay? Next one. 咁呢啲係典型題啦嚇，咁啊即係我特登抄一條典型題嚇。Four couples, all are different objects. Take a row in a train. How many different ways can they be seated? Each couple is to sit together. All women are sit together. All men and all women sit together. No people of the same sex. That is alternate. Sit together. All right. 好，大家試下做好嘛？俾4分鐘你做。Big factor, 2 factor, power 4 factor. B, 4 factor times. OK， 唔緊要，試下打試下做，我覺得啱錯冇乜所謂，最緊要你肯做，因為 mathematics is learning by doing， 唔係 learning by thinking。佢係落手落腳做。好，俾多2分鐘大家，呢啲典型題嚟嘅。E, 4 factor times 5p4. P8，好吧 ，good try，再試下添。有啲同學錯咗嘅答案嚇，唔緊要嘅，你答啊，即管試下答，陣間會解晒俾你聽。仲有1分鐘。E, 4 factor square. A factor. 幾好啊。4P4 B 4P4 8 factor 4睇下先啦。8 factor 4 factor 2 power 4 factor 5 4 factor。有啲同學好明顯係中咗計啦嚇。好，有啲同學錯咗嘅，但我唔明你點解錯嘅嚇。我明你點解錯嘅，因為你諗錯咗件事。好，仲有3秒，幾好啊！試下嗱，咁啊開估咯喎，嗱慢慢嚟。How many different ways can they be visited? No restriction. 8 factorial. Or some student write 8p8. Same. Okay? Same. All right? Many of you correct. Now, if each couple is to sit together, so it's A, B, B, C, C, D, D. Okay? Each couple, if they sit together, so they are now. So I grew up that each couple be one object. So there are 4 objects. 4 objects is 4 factorial. Okay, 4 factorial. But within a couple, they may exchange their position. So for each couple, there are 2 factorial arrangement. But because there are 4 couples, 2 factorial power 4. Okay, 2 factorial power 384. Okay, now C 嗱呢度有個 trap 嘅。All women are to sit together. If all women are sit together, how about the men? Are they also sit together? 如果女人坐埋晒一齊，咪代表男人坐埋晒一齊 ？Yes or no？ 唔係唔係唔係，聽到。
要隔住佢咯，揾啲女仔去隔住佢哋咯。
唔係，你又答啱唔係，但係個解釋唔啱。
佢哋可以坐中間㗎嘛啲女仔。
係啦，因為唔係，係啦，因為咧佢可以4個女仔 group 埋一齊，但係個 boy 咧係 separate， 得唔得 ？For example is women. OK， B。OK，
女仔入面都要排。
得嘛？咁所以咧 ，in this case, all the women are sit together, but the boy they sit separately. So the answer is for first there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 factorial for the 5 objects. But among the women, there are 4 factorial arrangement. 明唔明啊？明啊嘛？
明白。
How about this? D. If all men are to sit together and all women are to sit together, 嗱咁呢個就講得好明啦。What is the answer? All women sit together.
4 factorial 乘4 factorial 再乘2。
係啦。W B. All right. So in this case, 2 factorial is for the 2 big objects. Among the women, 4 factorial. Among the men, 4 factorial. All right. Okay, E. What is the answer of E?
5p4 times 4 factorial.
5p4 times
4 factorial.
4 factorial. Do you agree, other student? No.
我
So
逐
what
個
is
逐個位咁諗喎。
what is the answer?
4 factorial times 4 factorial times 2 factorial. If you use 5p4 times 4 factorial, it will mean that some man or some woman may be not separated.
Yes. OK， 我完全明白點解有同學寫 5P4， 梗係以前中學老師教得好好啊，得唔得 ？If no people of the same sex, I think that the student use this energy. Boy B, 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 B. Then you assume that there are holes between
Yes.
the oil. Yes.
Yes, I think like that.
Yes. But this is you. But the answer is wrong because 5P4 is how about if the women they take this 4, then the 2B they combine. All right. So the answer is not 5P4. Should be 4 factorial times 4 factorial. The method is we maybe assume that W, the women start first, W, 4 factor. For the boy, also 4 factor. But the sequence can be worse, times 2. 明唔明啊？明唔明點解呢個唔啱啊？而家明未啊？All right, understand? So this is not correct. 但我知道你一定學過嘅，得唔得嚇 ？OK, next one. 好，嗱下邊嗰條咧，我俾你翻屋企做，你特登留翻條俾你放我翻屋企享受下。你想同我老師換翻答案俾你聽。A group of people of 5 men and 4 women take photograph. They are arranged to stand in a row. 咁呢個係 easier. No restriction. Men and women stand alternate. There is a couple and they stand together. How about if they stand in 2 rows? 2. How many arrangements are there if men and women not stand in the same row? There's no restriction for the number of people in each row. Okay?好，俾5分鐘大家答下啦。OK 啦，送分嘅呢個。9P9 right? 9P9 is 9 factorial, correct? 大家做住先，我要去洗手間。B, 4P4 times 5P5 times 2. P1 P1 即係8，係嘛？ 8P1，或者係8乘 7P7 BC。A2 A3 8 7P7。No restriction 啊。C 邊嚟 C 啊？定係 B2 啊？定係 B1 啊？
佢應該係講 A3。
A3 我 A3 好嘅，A3 一個 couple they stand together。OK。仲2分鐘，幾得意㗎呢條嚇。A very easy。So 9 factorial, right? No, 2. Now pay attention. Now the number of men and number of women are different. So there is no swap. Okay? No swap. If men and women stand alternate, the first person is a man. You cannot put the first one be a woman. So the answer is 5 factorial for the man, 4 factorial for the woman, but we don't times 2. Understand? 明唔明啊？唔會乘2啦，因為個男女數目
因為得一個可能性係咪？
唔係，因為男女數目不同，必須要男企先。
係咯。
明唔明？即係你唔可以乘2嘅，得唔得？唔可以乘2。3. There is a couple and they stand together. So in this case, there are 8 objects. One big object that is the couple. The arrangement is 8 factorial. But between the couple, there is a 2 factorial. All right? Okay, B. 1. Men and women not stand in the same row, okay, if for 2 rows, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 rows. So for the men, 5 factorial. For the women, 4 factorial. But they can exchange. You may sit in this way. So times 2. Okay, times 2. Next one. There's no restriction for the number of people in each row. So you just count it. Because there's no restriction, don't forget 0 is allowed. So the first one is all the 10 people stand in the same row. Second, this time. So for each one, it's also 9 factorial. Okay, 9 factorial. But what I'm wrong? Is saying, oh, sorry. Okay, but there are 8 different arrangement. Where is the 8 from? 9, this one, 9, 0. Second one, 8, 1. Third one, 7, 2. So and so. So answer is 9 factorial times 8. Understand, student, for this one? Okay, now this question you go home as an exercise. Your lecturer will tell you later the answer of this question. 你個老師會話翻俾你聽嘅，遲啲下，自己翻去玩下，幾難做㗎呢兩 part 得唔得嚇 ？OK， all right, next one. Now next is I start to introduce the symbol of permutation of distinct object. Now, permutation of n distinct object. In sample space, we often require to choose a number R object. We choose R object from n, arrange them in order. Then it is called permutation, right? Permutation. So we use this symbol to represent permutation. The meaning of 8p3 is there are 8 different objects. Remember, when you use the NPR notation, you make one assumption. That is this one. 全部 object 係 different. Remember this. Okay, remember this. All the objects are different, right? So if you choose, I choose 3 objects out of 8. We write it in this way, or some textbook, write it in this form, the same. It is called NPR. So NPR is, its definition is, say, what is the meaning of 8p3? The first object, you have 8 ways on doing it. The second one, you have 7. The next one, you have 6. Right. So NPR is n times n minus 1 up to n minus r plus 1. Why there is a plus 1? Because the first one is n minus 0. Okay, minus 0. It is the first one, but minus 0. The second one, minus 1. The third one, minus 2. So the R one is R minus R plus 1. 得唔得？個位置同埋你所減嘅數係爭1嘅，呢個係第3個位，係減2嘅啫。得唔得？所以咧 when it is at the R position is minus R plus 1. Okay, plus 1. But this is quite difficult to memorize. So you may change it to expression to this one. How to do it? I'll show you one example. 5p3 is 5 times 3 times, 5 times 4 times 3. But if I put further, I put times 2 times 1 here, and over 2 times 1, so there's no change. But this expression is here is 5 factorial. This is 2 factorial, but 2 factorial equal to 5 minus 3 factorial. So we use this notation. 8p3 is 8 factorial over 5 factorial. All right. So but if you take all the object, then it becomes npn. So npn is n factorial. All right. Let's see one simple example is in how many different ways can 20 members of a union select a president, vice president, and secretary, and a treasurer. So you randomly select 4 people out of 20, and they have different position. So it is, we should count the order. So the answer is 20p4. 有冇同學知唔知道點解呢個咧 ？Why 20p4 is correct? And maybe I assume that many of you learned NCR before, but this is wrong in this question. 有冇同學知點解？
Because president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer are all different different people. So therefore, different people landing on different positions is a different permutation. That's why it's a P. That's why it's using permutation or combination.
So when it is correct.
If the 4 people that is selected are doing the same thing, let's say they're all presidents or let's say they're all secretaries, then it will be using combination, using C.
I won't say doing the same thing. I would say there are 12, 20 people. You just randomly select 4 to form a group. Okay? You form a group only. And in the group, you do not further doing some assignment. Okay? Assign who is the leader, who is the doing what particular position. So in this case, it's NCR. Okay, if you remember, if you study in Hong Kong, in DSE, there are so many questions set by using NCR. Okay, NCR, you just select something out of a big group. So remember, if you form a grouping, only you use C. But if you form, after you form a grouping, you further assign them, then you should use NPR. So I think that maybe some math teacher teach their student in this way. 我諗有啲老師會咁教。First of all, you select 4 out of 20, but among the 4, you are doing arrangement. Am I correct? 你嘅老師以前係咪咁教㗎？嚇 If you're doing NPR, okay, you break down into 2 steps. Select the group, then you further arrangement. All right, so this is NPR. Next, how many different possible ways can 6 letters word be formed such that the first and the last letter are distinct vowels and the rest 4 are distinct consonants? 咁有啲叫呢叫響音啦，呢叫啞音啦。1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you form a word. Okay, so these 2, they are 5 vowels. So 5P3, 5P2, sorry, 5P2. And for the other, there are 21 consonants. You randomly select 4. 有21個啞音啦嚇。You randomly select 4. So this is step 1. This is step 2. Multiplication rule. NPR. It is the answer. Okay. So tell me the answer of this one. Very easy. Okay. Repetition is not allowed. 7P4, right? 7P4. Repetition is allowed. 7 power 4. Okay? 7 power 4. Understand? Other student? Anyone you don't understand? 有冇同學唔明白？我講得快就係你 stop 喎，得唔得？係咪 please slow 啊 ？OK。好啦，跟住呢條咧，定定下。A 3-digit number is formed from the digit 0 to H. Each digit can only use only once. How many possible number are even number? 請問你 form 到幾多個雙數出嚟咧？ Now, what is the definition of 3-digit number? Now, 150, it is a 3-digit number. But 013 is not a 3-digit number. It is only a 2-digit number. 但係呢個係一個3位數喎，但係呢個只係一個2位數啫，得唔得？所以第一個位咧係唔可以係0㗎，得唔得？唔可以係0。好，俾4、5分鐘大家諗下。呢條難啲，呢條有個0喺度啊。 覺得好難諗嘅同學咧，可以將佢 break down。有啲同學都好難嘅喎，即係點搞啊？即係點解你一條 equation 可以搞掂啊？咁 OK。嗱，咁我教一個 systematic 嘅方法先嚇。Now this problem right is difficult because there is a zero. Okay. If there is no zero, it's become very easy. Okay. Even number, you just an even number in the last digit, and then the first two you may randomly select two out of the rest. Right. Now, but because there is a zero, we should handle the zero carefully. Now, I break down the case into three. If the even number, the last digit is zero, how many ways to form this? 如果最後嗰個位一定係零㗎啦，咁有幾多個方法呢？ If the ending, the last digit is zero, so how many possible even number? What is the equation? What is the? It should be 6p2 times 1. Agree? P not C. P 12唔等於21㗎嘛？明唔明啊？明唔明白？120唔等於210啊嘛？所以唔係6C2。OK？ 唔係6C2。If zero is in the 10 digit, but if the last digit is 6 or 8, because this is an even number, all right? So for the last digit, there are two ways. You may choose 6 or 8. The middle digit, the 10th digit is 1 because you put 0 there. For the rest, it is 5p1. Agree? Agree? C is used. You should also choose one even number, so it's 5p1. Last one, if there is no zero, how many ways on doing it? No zero. So last digit, there are two ways on doing it. No zero, so it's 5p2. The three cases is 18. All right, now this is a systematic method. 當然會有啲快方法嘅，即係點樣減嚟減去啊。咁但係我就搞一個系統啲嘅方法，得唔得？ So to solve this, I will say a bit difficult question. Look at which is the crucial part. Then you take it out, you solve it case by case. And finally, you use the addition to solve the problem. Okay, solve the problem. One more question, you do it. How many different numbers altogether can be formed by taking, you may take one digit, you may take two digits, you may take three digits or four digits out of 9, 8, 3, 2. A repetition not allowed. 用4個數字裏邊整一個1位數，或者2位數，或者3位數，或者4位數，總共可以整到幾多個 ？Next, how many numbers in part A are odd and greater than 800? 一個位有幾多個？一個位。唔使計啊，係咪？兩個位。四乜嘢 ？Two digits。睇一次就，你睇翻你自己份筆記先啦，好嘛？因為而家計緊，好嘛？陣先。即係你話嘅答案咁樣，呢度。 A is easy. 4B1 plus 4B2 4B4. Okay, part B is there are two criteria. Odd, greater than 800. Okay, if it is a 4-digit number, it must be greater than 800. But how many ways to form a 4-digit number, but it is a odd number? 一個4位單數有幾多個做法呢？4個位嘅單數，4個位，咁你4個位就一定大過800啦。但係佢有2個 criteria，two criteria. You have to choose an odd number. So if it is an odd number, the last digit either is 3 or 9, right? So there are 2 ways on choosing the last digit. All right. Then afterwards, you may freely arrange the other 3 number. So it is 3p3 times 2. Understand? This is the first case. Okay. Now, next, 3 digits. Because it must be greater than 800. Okay, 800. So if I break it down, it becomes easier. Begin with 8, but because it is odd, ending with 3 or 9. How many ways? 3位數，因為你話要大過800嘛，咁第一個嗰個8位一定要8啦，係嘛？或者9啦，係嘛？9啦，咁我做個8先啦，啊8又要單數喎。So how many ways? Begin with 8 is 1. The last digit is either 3 or 9. It is 2. So in the middle is what? What is the answer of this part? How many number you have now? 你仲剩翻幾多個數目字俾你揀啊？你做咗呢2個步驟之後 ，after you do this one and do this one, how many digits you have now? You have 2. You select 8. Maybe you also select 3. Okay, you select 3. So you have to. This is a 2p1. Okay, 3 digits. And last case, 3 digits. Begin with 9. So ending with 3. How about this case? Begin with 9, 1, ending with 3, 1. Here is 2p1. So the answer is this one number plus this number plus this number. 得唔得？幾多咧？答案睇先啊，3 factor 乘2加2。明唔明白？得嘛？咁我特登出到咁啊，又要百位，又要單數，又要就呢個，又要就嗰個，係嘛？好，咁最後5分鐘，得唔得？呢個 OK。Now then we go to permutation, not all this thing. I covered this equation before. Okay, if they are not distinct, you have to remove the factor. Say, how many ways to arrange the word factorial? Because that there are 2 A's and also no, only 2 A. So it should be 9 factorial, assume that they are distinct, divided by 2 factorial, that is the factor. How about this one? Combination. Combination is 11 factorial over 2O, 2 factorial, 2I, 2 factorial, 2N, 2 factorial. So this is the answer. All right. In how many ways can customer be assigned to free counter with 2 counter in A, 3 counter to B, and 5 counter to C? So in this case, that means I give letters to 10 customers. 2 of them, I call them A, and 3 of them, I call them B, 5 of them, I call them C. So how many ways to arrange this word? 10 factor over 2 factor over 3 factor over 5 factorial. All right, so remember this equation. OK， 好，我哋做多2題，咁啊今堂完咯喎，好嘛？呢題先。How many ways to arrange statistic? 係快而準啦，直情係10 factor over 3s, 3 factor, 3t, 3 factor, 2 factor. All right, OK, one more. 嗱，我唔做呢條，呢條太容易做啊，我做條難嘅。咁今堂就講晒啦，其他你自己慢慢返屋企試下做。How many ways can the letter in the word minimum be arranged? How many ways with the 3M arranged together? How many ways the arrangement begin with the triple M? B, C. User 你答得好快喎，係咪？就唔知啱啱答得快嘅。A. Straightforward. 7 factor over 3 factor times 2 factor. Right? How about B? M. They arrange together. I-I-U-N. So what is the answer? Okay, so obviously there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects, 5 vectors. They are duplicate. But we don't need to treat the 3M because they are the same. Okay, so there's only one arrangement for the 3 identical M. So this is the answer. How about C? Begin with 3M. M, I-I-U-N. If the arrangement is begin with this, that means this 3M, their position are determined, or you may say they are fixed. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. The 2i are repeated, 2 factorial. Okay? 4 factorial， 爭啲啊 Victoria， 唔係純粹 4 factorial， 因為有2個 I 係一樣㗎，明唔明啊？唔係4 factorial， 係4 factorial over 2 factorial， 因為2個 I 係 identical。Understand？ 明白嚇，咁所以咧就有啲就係呢啲 DSE 又唔會有嘅呢啲題目，因為 DSE 咧係唔考 same object 嘅。你見翻啲 past paper， 因為我睇過啦 ，past paper 都係揾 people、teacher、student、a group of people， 成日都揾人嘅，因為人一定係 distinct 啊，唔會有嗰個誤解問題出現。Alright, so do you enjoy this lesson? So this is only give you an introduction about the combination 嚇，OK 嚇，即係比較簡介啦。上堂嘅 environment 大約就係咁啦嚇，你可以講嘢啊，即係我都傾下偈啦嚇，冇所謂嘅嚇。OK 嘛，我知道啲同學你下晝係咪有啲咩 orientation 啊？係嘛？我唔記得咗，好似有啲學校同我講，咁所以我就安排呢個時間啱啱夾住中間啦。Okay, see you in the formal lesson， 好嘛？即係正式咧，再同大家見面啦嚇。OK， 咁我哋今日喺呢度停先，好冇？咁有咩嘢你問我，你而家問，冇問題嘅，你講都得，我答你。
阿 Sir，
係。
我想問下，係咪正式上堂都係你教？
唔係，我哋咧有10幾20班㗎。咁我哋每一班咧係我哋學校咧，佢係嗱學校嘅 policy 咧就係佢會將你咧安排去某一班某一個老師。咁咧，但係我哋學校咧係容許學生咧可以轉堂嘅，容許嘅。咁但係佢轉堂有個 policy 嘅，即係譬如話你 A 班你想去轉 B 班咧，B 班有個人走，咁 A 班嗰個同學就可以入去咯。即係一定要互換啊，明唔明啊？
即係要個同學肯先可以調到過去。係
啦，因為咧，如果唔係嘅話，咁有啲老師100個同學，有啲老師得2個同學，咁咪好慘，係咪先？係即係個嚇，因為有啲同學咧係啊，佢轉科唔係純粹老師問題，可能佢想就靚啲個時間表啊嘛，咁就係啦，咁就你可以留意個學校會講啊個 policy。
好，唔該。
唔使。仲有冇問題 ？Any problem you want to ask me about what QA1 or about the lesson, about the content of this lesson？ 你想問嘅？我講漏咗一樣嘢添。呢科咧就唔使點買書嘅，得嘛嚇？同埋咧嗰本 textbook 咧，學校 library 咧又有10本喺度，你自己去睇咗先，就唔因為嗰本書今年都好貴，嗰本書成600蚊啊本書，咁就唔好嘥埋，即係唔好話嘥啦，唔好咁快用呢啲錢啦，得唔得嚇？ 咁我擺咗10本喺圖書館㗎啦。好，最後1分鐘，有冇問題？咁冇問題，我哋喺呢度停啦，好冇？今日嚇。咁啊，如果你有問題，你真係想問我，咁你 reply 我嘅 email 都得啦。即係你收到我 email，或者你 send 去 email 去呢個 email address 啫嚇。因為即係行政問題，我可以答你嘅，因為個 Costco 喎嚇。但係就唔會話呢班同學咧，最後都係我教，因為我有其他幾個老師一齊教咁樣。好，咁我哋喺呢度停啦，好嗎？今日 OK，see you in the formal lesson。拜拜。拜拜。